on down, loose, wacky, a very colorful team with their mod hairstyles. The Oakland A's have been doing it in the World Series as they have all year, winning clutch ball games, coming from behind with one of the best pitching staffs, maybe the most underrated pitching staff in the Major League. And now Oakland is in a great position to wind up the World Series today. They have their best pitcher, Jim Hunter, slated to start. They have the momentum and the confidence from last night's dramatic come-from-behind victory. Cincinnati is up against it, but Cincinnati hopes they get some base hits. They still feel they can run at will. They're sending men at all times. They can go from first to third. They need base hits. As Sparky Anderson says today, if he doesn't get them, he is going to leave the World Series a very embarrassed man. And the A's will pitch Hunter. The Reds will pitch McLaughlin, Monty, as Gary Nolan's arm tightened up and they go to with McLaughlin.
Right, and the A's know a little bit about Jim McLaughlin. He pitched in the American League for the California Angels some years back. As a matter of fact, the last game he pitched in the American League was against the A's here at this ballpark. Oakland has beaten him 3 times, or 5 times in his career, and he has beaten the Oakland A's 3 times dating back to Kansas City, and that's Jim right there. Incredible amount of pressure on a man like him. He has pitched very little in the last month or 2 of the season, but he did throw 3 real big ball games in that clinching week for the Cincinnati Reds in August. McLaughlin can throw a real good one once in a while. For the Oakland A's, Dick Williams is giving the ball to Jim Catfish Hunter, the most consistent pitcher in Oakland A's history. Hunter has won 60 games the last 3 years, 20 last year, 21 this year, 18 the year before. He is a spot pitcher, a controlled pitcher, and as his wife was saying last night before the ball game, he's probably the most cool man around the city of Oakland. He has a lot of courage. He challenges hitters, and it's going to be quite an interesting duel here this afternoon as the A's try to bring the World Championship to the Bay Area.
All right, that's the pregame slant from up here in our telecasting booth. Now let's go down on the field to our partner, Tony Kubek.
With me on the field, a pleased man and a rather puzzled man. Larry Shepard is the pitching coach of the Reds. Ted Kluszewski, the hitting instructor. Larry, your pitching has given up just 8 runs, and yet you're down 3 games to 1.
Yes, Tony, if you'd have said this a few days ago or a week ago, I would have laughed at you. But so far, it's just been exactly that. If we counted on this kind of pitching, why, we thought we'd waltz in.
What are the plans today out of your bullpen?
Well, we've got a fellow by the name of Bullpen going today, and it's a pretty good one. We've got the total bullpen is 24 wins, 60 saves. I know Mac has come in several times this year when we were short, like Gary Nolan being out now, and pitched a game that we needed. He beat San Diego 1-0, and of course with the help of the bullpen. So our bullpen is a pretty good guy.
Polsky, what about the hitting on the Reds?
Well, we don't know. I'm completely baffled. Our big men have been hitting the ball. They've got 12 hits between them, Perez and Bench, but we're just not getting anybody on in front of them. They haven't driven in the run in the whole series.
Is some of it a little bit of a tension or over-anxiety at the plate?
I think so. They might be over-swinging and over-muscling a little bit, which slows their bat down a little bit, and they're not quite getting to the ball, and that seems to be the problem. They're fouling off a lot of good pitches.
Larry, what about McLaughlin today? What about Gary Nolan, who might have been the starting pitcher in this ballgame?
Yes, he's had 2 bad years, Tony, and we're really sorry about it. It's just like Jackson on their club missing him. But Gary, at 70, of course, was hurt during the series and again this year, and I know how badly he feels, and I know how badly the club feels that he can't pitch.
Clue, what about the hitting today? Is there a lot of tension or the atmosphere in that Reds clubhouse and dugout, or are they a looser club today?
I think they're a looser club. I watched them in batting practice. They're swinging the bat much better. Yesterday I was a little worried about them and proved to be right, but I think today they're swinging the bat well, and I hope we're going to score a few runs.
All right, quickly, you think we're going back to Cincinnati?
Well, I told my son Larry in Lincoln that he's going to meet us in Cincinnati tomorrow for the weekend series, so we're going back, Tony.
Larry Shepard, Ted Kluszewski, thank you so much. Let's go back upstairs.
Thank you, Tony. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Oakland Coliseum, we're ready for the opening ceremonies of Game 5.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Oakland Coliseum for the 5th game of the 1972 World Series. Here are the official lineups. First, the Cincinnati Reds. Here's the manager of the Reds, number 10, Sparky Anderson. Batting first and playing left field, number 14, Pete Rose. Batting second and playing second base, number 8, Joe Morgan. Batting third and playing center field, number 28, Bobby Tolan. Batting fourth and catching, number 5, Johnny Bench. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 24, Tony Perez. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 16, Dennis Menke. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 20, Cesar Geronimo. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 12, Darrell Cheney. Batting ninth and pitching, number 31, Jim McLaughlin, who is warming up in the bullpen. And here are the remaining players and coaches of the Cincinnati Reds. And now for the Oakland Athletics. Here's the manager of the A's, number 23, Dick Williams. And special recognition to a great ball player, injured in the playoffs, unable to play in the World Series, Reggie Jackson. Batting first and playing shortstop, number 19, Campy Campaneris. Batting second and playing right field, number 14, Matty Alou. Batting third and playing left field, number 26, Joe Rudi. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 5, Mike Epstein. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 6, Captain Sal Bando. Batting sixth and playing center field, number 25, George Hendricks. Batting seventh and catching, number 38, Gene Dennis. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 1, Dick Green. Batting ninth and pitching, number 27, Jim Catfish Hunter, who's warming up in the bullpen. And here are the remaining players and coaches of the Oakland Athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join in the singing of our national anthem, which will be played by the Oakland Symphony under the direction of Harold Farberman.
Oakland Symphony Orchestra. And the fifth game of the 1972 World Series is about to get underway. We'll return in a moment.
Let's see, we have 12 inns in San Francisco. Which? Oh, yes, sir.
Reservation. Oh, and your valet service. If they pick up a suit
Welcome to our annual
Great.
Western sales meeting. I have some figures here I'd like to show you.
If we can accomplish tomorrow what we did today, we'll be in great shape.
Today, this Holiday Inn made 463 businessmen a little more efficient by making them a little more relaxed. So next time you travel on business, stay with Holiday Inn, the most accommodating people in the world.
Major League umpire Bill Haller, give us the one word that best describes that El Producto cigar.
Good taste, mild. I have to go along with mild.
Hey, Bill, what are you talking about? El Producto's got flavor. Flavor's the word.
Kenny, mild's the word.
Your taste buds must be going blind, Bill.
Kenny, mild or back to the showers?
Well, I never said they weren't mild.
Next time, try a great tasting El Producto. You'll call it like you smoke it.
Mild.
So you found a new pad and you're moving your stuff. Well, that's okay. This car's enough. Plymouth Space Duster. You can get 6.5 feet of space to pack with a seat that folds here and back. The roof cranks open for a country ride. Don't cost much extra. Let the sun inside. Cranks shut, too. Space Duster. You can get more out of it because you can get more into it. Plymouth Duster. Extra care and engineering. It makes a difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the Commissioner's Box, where Mr. Joe Cronin, President of the American League, member of the Hall of Fame, and native of the Bay Area, will throw out the ceremonial first pitch.
Started playing baseball in San Francisco in the sandlots there. Became an all-time great shortstop, a manager with the Boston Red Sox, general manager with the Boston Red Sox, president of the American League. And Joe has had the honor day of throwing out the first ball. Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, and Bobby Cohen over by the Reds dugout. They'll be the first three men. Here comes Catfish Hunter in. The A's take the field. There's delighted fans cheering them. Fans that went berserk here last night right after the game. The umpires assigned to today's game by the commissioner. Behind the plate would be Bob Engel of the National League. At first base, Bill Haller of the American League. At second base, Chris Pellicudis of the National League. From the American League, Jim Honeychick will be working at third. Covering the left field line will be Mel Steiner of the National League and Frank Umont of the American League down the right field line. Jim Hunter, who beat Cincinnati 2-1 in Cincinnati Sunday. He had help with 2 down in the last of the 9th inning. He is one of these young veterans on this Oakland club. He's worked enough down the majors to have the experience and the polish, and yet he is still only 26 years old. 21-game winner this year.
Terrific control, and I think his first start against the Reds, most of the Reds hitters tell me they were very surprised at the velocity on his fastball. Their scouting report said he has excellent control, spots the ball well with a good curved slider and sinker ball, but they all tell me his fastball surprised them.
The National League writers, officials who are here, compare him to Robin Roberts, the way he pitches. Almost unerring control. By control, we mean an inch or two off the plate when he wants to be. He moves that ball in and out, up and down. We're going to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Kurt Gowdy, Monty Moore, Tony Kubek with you. If you'd have bet me and Monty and Tony before the series that Rose and Morgan would have one hit combined in 28 times at bat, I would have laughed at you. Pete Rose is 1 out of 15. He leads it off here in Game 5. And he hits a high drive into deep right. That one's way back, and it is gone. He hits the first pitch for a home run. And the Reds lead very quickly, 1-0. Didn't take long, huh?
Reds came out of the dugout about the same way yesterday, swinging at the first pitch. The first 3 hitters did it.
Joe Morgan hasn't had a hit in 13 times up. A strike. He was telling me before the game, I can't tell you what's the matter. I feel like I'm comfortable up there. And the same way for Pete. He had a check swing and taps it back to Hunter. 1 down. That home run's not going to bother Hunter. He has a lot of poise, Monty.
Yes, he's had some trouble in early innings this year, Kurt, but he is an awfully tough competitor. I've seen him down 2 or 3 runs in the early innings, and he just keeps plugging along, realizing he's going to get that rhythm and tempo back.
Bobby Tolan spiked a double in the 8th inning last night to right field. That scored 2 runs to put the Reds in front. Then they lost that lead in the last of the ninth. Tolan's had 3 hits in 16 times in the series. 1 out, nobody on, and the pitch is just outside for a ball. And Pete Rose has become the 11th hitter to lead off a World Series game with a home run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tommy Agee, the last to do it in Game 3 of the '69 series between the Mets and the Orioles. 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Calling for it, Campaneris, the shortstop. 2 down. Nobody on. Johnny Bench. He and Perez have done their job in the middle of the order. They haven't hit with power, but they've been on base. Bench has had 5 hits in 14 times. The problem is there's been nobody on base ahead of them through the first 4 games. The Reds have not scored over 2 runs in any single game of this series. That's how effective the A's pitching has been. A strike. Ball 1, and the Reds have been held without a home run until Rose has led off this game with his homer over the right field wall. 2 out, nobody on. The Reds leading 1-0. Foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Many people are still not impressed with the A's as a team. Of course, they're not quite the same team as they are when they have Reggie Jackson in the lineup. But Harry Walker, several managers in the National League, had warned the Reds about the A's pitching. Struck him out. 1 run, 1 hit. At the end of the first half inning, 1-0 Cincinnati.
Mr. Atlas?
Yes?
I understand millions of people are buying tires named after you.
Right. They know Atlas tires are built for strength.
Hey! Gee, what?
That deep tread helps give you long mileage and good traction.
Well, where can I get them to fit my car?
There's an Atlas tire for every need and pocketbook at 50,000 leading service stations. There's one near you.
Say, who's holding up the world?
Atlas tires, all built with the strength of Atlas.
Hey, 2 guys are out to get your car. First, it's winter. He wants to freeze you to death. Then comes summer. He wants to boil you over. But you can beat them both with Prestone 2 Winter-Summer Formula. Fights winter freeze, fights summer boil over. Prestone 2 with its patented new anti-corrosion formula. If you can't trust Prestone, who can you trust? Sorry, boys. No riders.
Hello. I'm interrupting your TV picture with good news about color TV. Know what's in back of many TV repairs? Look, chassis tubes. Tubes get hot, weaken with age, and are a leading cause of TV repairs. So RCA takes every chassis tube out of XL100 color TVs. XL100s are 100% solid state, designed for longer life and vivid color. Give chassis tube problems the boot with XL 100.
The A's cheerleading section behind the A's dugout. They were busy last night. They'll be busy again today. Campy Campaneris leads off against Jim McLaughlin. Fouls the first pitch back. McLaughlin has pitched only 4 innings of relief since September 23rd. This year he won 9 and lost 8. He's 29 years old, lives in Florence, Kentucky. To the box. 1 out. Campaneris had had 3 hits in 15 times up. Here's Matty Alou. He's had only 1 hit in 13 times. Made a pair of good fielding plays last night, though. Freckled-faced Jim McLaughlin, the Huckleberry Finn of the Cincinnati pitching staff. Outside for a ball. This is his 2nd World Series game. He started the 2nd game of the 1970 series, losing 6-5. Ground ball to shortstop. Darrell Chaney nails him, and they're 2 down. And Joe Rudi has had 5 for 15. 1 homer, 1 RBI. And his catch up against the left field wall off Dennis Menke, game 2, will never be forgotten by those who follow the World Series. Cincinnati's ahead 1-0. This is the last of the 1st inning. McLaughlin is not quite like Billingham, but he does throw a lot of breaking stuff. Billingham was very effective with sinker balls and breaking pitches. It's a strike. And that's the kind of stuff that Billingham was getting him out on night before last. McLaughlin acquired by the Reds along with pitchers Pedro Borbon and Vern Geyser for Alex Johnson and Chico Ruiz after the 1969 season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lines it foul. That's why Rudy's so hard to defend against. He'll splatter the ball into the right field corner, the outside pitch. He'll hit the pitch through the middle straight away. And he'll pull an inside pitch to the left field corner. And you can see big gaps out there in the Cincinnati outfield. Gap between Rose and Tolan. Quite a gap there between Geronimo and Tolan. Look at that gap, see? You have to scatter out against him. 1-2 pitch. Struck him out on a breaking pitch. McLaughlin looked very good in that 1st inning. At the end of inning number 1, Cincinnati leading 1-0.
My name is J. Paul Getty. The brokerage house of E.F. Hutton Company is a firm with which I've had close and pleasant relationships for 4 decades. They have been helpful and their service has been good.
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
679. Anytime you play 500 ball on the road, you figure you're doing well. And they need a road victory today to stay alive. Tony Perez leads the World Series in base hits, and he slams that one into the left field corner. It is a fair ball. Rudy plays the carom. Perez is coming, and he'll be in there with a double to lead off the 2nd. Again, the Reds hitting the 1st pitch.
Heard a lot of teams in the American League do that with Hunter. They know he's a strike thrower, and he's thrown 2 high strikes to start these first 2 innings.
So Tony Perez is now batting over 500 in these 5 games. Rose led off the 1st with a homer. Perez leads off the 2nd with a double. Dennis Menke, 1 hit in 13 times. Ball 1. Bando even with the bag at 3rd. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. 2-1. He's trying to go to right field, move Perez over. Get him over to third in any manner he can. The Reds manager. The 2-1 pitch coming up to Dennis Menke. There's the bunt. Hunter will have to play it to first. He took that quick look to third. Perez had a good jump on the bunt. It would have been a real gamble play there. So give Menke a sacrifice. And he's out from the pitcher to the first baseman. Cesar Geronimo coming up. This telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Commissioner of Baseball is prohibited. Cesar Geronimo, 1 hit in 11 times. The Reds have a runner on third. 1 out, and the Oakland A's bring the infield in at first and third and 2 steps off the grass at short and second. Strike to Geronimo. Last night with the infield in, Manuel's ground ball went through for the winning hit. With the infield back, it would have been easily handled by the second baseman. But they had to come in and try and choke off the winning run. 1-1. There's an old saying, bring the infield in, a 300 hitter becomes a 400 hitter, and a 250 hitter a 300 hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Perez at third, 1 out. The Reds ahead 1-0. Second inning. Fly ball in the shallow left. Going to be a foul ball. Rudy grabs it. Perez is holding. Two down. And the batter now will be the Red shortstop, Darrell Cheney, who's gone hitless in 6 times.
Dick Williams has already held up 4 fingers in the corner of the dugout, indicating I don't think they want to pitch to Cheney.
And Tennis now. Telling Hunter, put him on. Cheney wanted a cut. This happens occasionally. Pitcher gets careless, lobs one too close to the plate. Batter can reach out and poke it somewhere.
After Finger slipped that one by bench the other night on an intentional walk fake, I don't think the Red batters are going to go up there asleep anymore.
Cheney's on first. Perez is at third. They're 2 down. And Jim McLaughlin, the Reds pitcher. As a batter, his lifetime average in the major leagues is 126. He's hit a home run in each of the last 3 years. Hit one in Cincinnati this season. They're going to play him straight away. Broken bat, there's a fly ball in the center. Hendricks comes hard. He's got it. Broken back Cloper. The fleet George Hendrick gathered in on the gallop. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. The end of an inning and a half. Cincinnati 1, Oakland 0.
This is a Plymouth engine plant, and every engine built here goes through this engine function tester. It finds problems that people don't find. That's the kind of thing that makes the 73 Fury run better inside while it looks better outside. Isn't that the kind of car we've all been looking for?
Plymouth Fury. Extra care in engineering. It makes a difference.
It's time for making a party for friends or the neighborhood. So make your party with Kentucky Fried Chicken and make it finger-licking good.
Right now, it's Party Pleaser Month at your Kentucky Fried Chicken store. So for any kind of a party, big or small, have a party with the Colonel.
America loves what the Colonel cooks. Anytime, any place, it's finger-licking good.
Last half of the second inning, Mike Epstein, Sal Bando, and George Hendrick come to the plate for the A's. Epstein is looking for his first hit of the series. He hasn't had a hit in 10 times up. He's the only player hitless in the A's lineup.
Kurt, I would imagine that with Jackson out of the lineup, the added pressure on Epstein has really made a difference on how they pitch to him.
Playing Epstein is a pull hitter to right field. Very little breeze today. A hazy sun shining right now. Soft curve of the ball to him. The last complete game for this man was August 21st. 2-0. He's averaged just over 3 walks every 9 innings this season. A bit higher than his lifetime control average in the majors. Pretty fair control. 2 balls, no strikes. 3-0. Epstein looks down to Irv Norn, third base coach. The hitter take. Here's a 3-0 pitch. He's on. 4 pitches.
And there's the difference, Kurt. They're just not giving him many pitches to hit, particularly ones that he can hit out. When Jackson's in the lineup, they bat back-to-back, and it's hard to pitch around one.
Sal Bando. 3 hits in 15. The captain of the A's team. Now warm-up action in the Cincinnati bullpen. There's a ball to Bando. Looks like Pedro Borbon warming up. We talk about the A's being a young veteran team. That is, they have 3 or 4 years of experience yet they're young. And that's an ideal state if you can arrive at. He hits a drive in the deep center. Drifting back, Bobby Tolan almost to the warning track, hauls it in. Epstein goes back to first. Joe Rudy's 26. Bando is 26 or 28. All in their mid-20s or late 20s. And they're going to be a team to reckon with in this American League. Unless they go to sleep or they get crippling injuries. George Hendrick. 1 hit in 13. He's 22 years old. He can run, he can throw, he can catch the ball. Can he hit big league pitches? He hasn't proved it yet. There's a strike to him. He's hitting the minors. The Reds are ahead 1-0. This is the last of the second. Pete Rose hits the first pitch for a home run. One ball, 1 strike. You notice McLaughlin pitching low. On deck is Gene Tennis. Giving these right-handers a lot of low breaking stuff. That's his pattern. 1-1 delivery. Into the dirt. Johnny Bench stopping it. 2 balls and a strike.
Kurt McLaughlin, as we look at Johnny Bench behind the plate, McLaughlin has an excellent curveball and a sinker. And with a National League umpire behind the plate, they have a tendency to give you the low pitches. And because they sit on the inside corner, a little bit more of the outside corner, which could be an advantage to McLaughlin.
The count is 2-1 to Hendrick. Throw to first. Epstein there. There's a fly ball down the right field line. That could be real trouble. Just foul. Foul by a couple of feet.
Let's watch that last pitch over again. They've been giving Hendrick a steady diet of breaking balls on the outside part of the plate, as they do many young hitters. Bench sitting almost on the outside corner. Just a little weak wave at it to foul it off.
2 balls, 2 strikes. This is a tough play. He can run. McLaughlin loses the ball. And those A's cheerleaders start up again in back of the dugout.
Here it is again, a little topper, a very difficult play for McLaughlin. I do not believe he would have had Hendricks anyway, as Hendricks really flew out of the batter's box with a good jump.
Runners on first and second. One out. The base hit for Hendrick. And Gene Tennis, the batting hero of the series for Oakland. He's had 4 hits, 3 of them have been home runs. He had a home run and a single in the 9th inning last night. Ball 1. Gene Tennis is the second catcher ever to hit 3 homers in a World Series. The first is Yogi Berra in 1956 against the Dodgers. Yogi's here at the series, the manager of the Mets. Ball 2.
There's something to think about. If Gene Tennis gets on, or if he even makes an out, and they don't get a double play, Dick Green may be out of the lineup before he bats once.
We'll watch for that, Monty. Dick Green. In the late season, the A's were pinch hitting for their second baseman. Sometimes even in the first or second inning. 2 balls and no strikes to Gene Tennis. There's a long drive. That one's going. It is good. Charlie Finley, the fastest 2-batter man in the West. The A's lead now, 3-1. That one's fouled back. What were we saying about Gene Tennis? Along with Yogi Berra, 3 homers. Gene Tennis now is the first catcher to hit 4 homers in a World Series. He hit only 5 all year. He's on his way to the most valuable player of this World Series.
Kurt, as we said before, in a different way, though, it's kind of hard to hit him sitting in the bullpen where he's been most of the year. Dave Duncan had hit 19, the regular catcher.
Backhanded beautifully by Dennis Menke. He throws Dick Green out. After Tennis had cleaned the bases, they didn't hit for Green. 2 down, nobody on. And Gene Tennis has tied a World Series record, ladies and gentlemen, and takes the place alongside of the fantastic Babe Ruth, who hit 4 homers in the 26 World Series. Lou Gehrig in the 28 World Series. A strike. Duke Snider in 52 hit 4 homers. Snider again in 55. And Hank Bauer in 1958. There's a strike. These were all 7-game series, except the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, who did it in 4 games. So Tennis is right alongside of Ruth and Gehrig. And Jim Hunter strikes out. But the A's took the lead on the 3-run homer by Tennis. With 2 hits, the score at the end of 2, 3-1 Oakland.
Hello, I'm Cricket, the new disposable butane lighter by Gillette. Oh, I'm good for thousands of lights, so I last for months. Cricket by Gillette. Try me.
Hi, Hank. Shaving close for your big close-up, huh?
Yep.
Well, don't cut yourself.
Sam, I don't have to cut myself to shave close. This is the Track 2, the 2-bladed razor from Gillette. The blades are recessed, so it's safer.
Recessed?
Then how come it shaves so close?
Because when the first blade shaves your whisker, it stretches it out from the skin. And before it can snap all the way back, the second blade can shave it again, closer.
What if I went back again with my one-blade razor?
The whisker snaps back too fast.
Gee, that's a great shave.
And that's not even my good side.
The Gillette Track 2, the two-bladed razor.
We're going to the third inning in Oakland. Kurt Gowdy, Monty Moore, Tony Kubek, Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, and Bobby Tolan will lead it off for the Reds. Rose hit a home run his first time up. And he drills the first pitch into right field. This is the best hitting we've seen so far in the series. The ball is tearing today, as Monty Moore points out here. Carries much better in the daytime than it does at night in this ballpark. We had mist and fog last night. Joe Morgan still looking for that first hit.
Kurt, the Reds are seeing Hunter for the second time around, and that's going to be a story of this game today. These players now have been swinging the bat 2 or 3 days in a row.
There's a pop. We saw Dick Green take his eye off the ball, see what Rose was doing. Played it very coolly. He played an excellent game defensively last night, and so did Concepcion and Menke on the left side of the Cincinnati infield.
Dick Green was asking someone today, he said, do they play that rough in the National League at second base all the time? He said, I love that kind of game.
We're getting action now in the Oakland bullpen. Bobby Tolan popped up. Strike one to him. Dave Hamilton and Bob Locker. Hamilton is the left-hander. Locker is the right-hander. One out. Cincinnati is Pete Rose at first. Strike two. Foul tip. The A's are leading 3-1. On deck is Johnny Bench. Jim Hunter has been superlative in postseason play. Foul ball. He's been brilliant through the year, but in 2 playoff games with the Tigers and in World Series game number 2, in those 3 games, he pitched 24 innings and allowed only 3 runs and only 16 hits. You allow less hits than innings pitched, you're doing very well. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bobby Tolan. That's Rose at first, 1 out. Epstein holding.
Five cars, 5 dead batteries. But we're going to start all 5, all at once, with 1 battery. A 2-year-old Sears Die-Hard battery. The Die-Hard, with extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. It lives up to its name. Sold only at Sears.
There's the Oakland A's record this year, and like the Reds, the A's were best in the American League on the road. They're at home right now, though, and they're in the lead. And they have the top of their order up, Bert Campaneris, who tapped out to the pitcher his first time. Gene Tennis's 3-run homer is the difference right now. Strike one to Campaneris. Gene Tennis, 4 homers in this series. Hit the Menke, foul. Menke's been playing tight against Campaneris, who's wrapped that ball solidly to him several times, and Menke's had those quick reactions that you have to have at third base. Do or you don't. All right. 1 and 2. Jim McLaughlin's 11th pro season, beginning in the California Angel organization in '62. Campaneris is caught looking. Strikeout number 3 for McLaughlin. And the batter is Matty Alou. I've never seen Alou look so futile at the plate as he has in this series, Monty.
He hasn't even hit the ball hard in the series, and it's strange because he had no slumps at all after joining the A's. In 31 games, he was getting a hit or two almost every day.
He is one of the most difficult men in baseball to strike out. Each season, 1 ball, no strikes to him. The A's lead 3-1. There's a fly ball out in the right field. Geronimo waiting for it. And we have 2 down. Joe Rudi struck out his first time.
Kurt, number 22, Joe Harlan, has a unique distinction. This is his 3rd World Series. He has not been in a game as yet. He was in the Pony League World Series down in Texas. He is a pitcher, and he pitched in the College World Series for Oklahoma State University, and here he is in the Major League World Series.
Won the bubblegum championship, too, didn't he?
At least a close second.
2 out, nobody on. The A's out in front 3-1. Have Joe Rudi at the bat. With Mike Epstein at deck. He drills it. That's fading foul, though. See all those banners out there? They had them strung all the way across the bleachers, and the Reds went to the umpires and asked them to take them down. Some of the white banners, especially in left center and in center field, were distracting the batters. Joe Rudi hit by the pitch ball.
Watch Joe get plunked once again. That closed stance, McLaughlin trying to move him back off the plate. He has the good breaking ball. He has to throw inside to protect that breaking pitch. Rudi making no move at all. He may have been guessing curve right in the back.
Mike Epstein walked his first time. The Oakland A's have 2 out. And once again, action in the Cincinnati bullpen springing up. He did not commit himself. Now they check with the third base umpire. Honeychick, he says, no, he didn't swing. How do they tell? It used to be if they broke their wrist, they'd call it a strike. But now most umpires will tell you if the bat comes over the plate, halfway over the plate, they're going to call a strike on him. 2 balls, no strikes. The home plate umpire gets blocked out in his vision many times, where the umpire on the baselines has a better opportunity to see the play. 2 balls, no strikes. Pedro Borbon heating up again. 3-0. Jim McLaughlin, when he would pitch for the Angels in the American League, against the A's, didn't fare well. He had 3 lifetime wins and 5 losses, and he never won a game in this park. He lost 3 decisions here when he was with the California Angels. 3 balls, no strikes. Pando went after the 3-0 pitch and grounds out. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. 3 innings are gone in Game 5 of the World Series. Our score is Oakland 3, Cincinnati 1.
1 glass of wine, white Lancer's wine.
Lancer's imported Vinho Branco is crisp and cool, light and white, but never timid or shy. Vinho Branco means white wine. Who knows what it will mean to you?
The 73 Plymouth Satellite Sebring Plus. Chrysler Plymouth made a little drawing of it so I could show you what's new besides looks. Quiet exhaust and suspension systems, sound barriers in the roof, doors, around the wheels, all over it.
The new mid-size satellite. Built to be seen, not heard.
Plymouth Satellite. Extra care in engineering. It makes a difference.
If Cincinnati wins today, the World Series will move back to Cincinnati for Game 6 tomorrow, starting at 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Tony Perez doubled his first time up. First ball swinging, a strike to him. And he hit the first pitch of the second for a double. Perez, the leading hitter in the World Series. A one-strike pitch. 1-1. He's facing a man, Jim Hunter, who's not lost a game since August 25th. 5-3 to Baltimore. He has won 6 since then, 5 during the season, and a World Series victory. Ball 2. He did not win or lose against the Tigers in 2 playoff games. His club didn't get him any run. He and Lolich tangled twice in a couple of great pitching duels. Menke on deck. 2-1. Grounded to shortstop. Campaneris. Over to Epstein. 1 down. Dennis Menke sacrificed his first time. He hits a high drive to deep left. That one is sailing back, and it is gone. A home run for Dennis Menke. And the Reds now are only 1 run down.
Hanging breaking pitch. Perez missed on the first pitch to him. A breaking ball that Hunter got high and inside. He fouled it off. But Menke didn't let it get by him. What's that home run swing once again? Notice how much he chokes up. But he does have good power. A belt high inside the hanging curve.
And our score is Oakland 3, Cincinnati 2. Ball 1 to Cesar Geronimo, who fouled the left field his first time. The Oakland bullpen is busy again. Hamilton, a left-hander. Locker, a right-hander. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 homers in this game. 2 by the Reds and Gene Tennis for the A's. The Reds have had 4 hits, the A's 2. Foul off the mask of Tennis that shook him up. Eating dinner with a straw tonight.
Notice he wears a soft cap, a regular cap. Johnny Bench wears a helmet all the time, even behind the plate.
A 1-2 pitch. Foul back. The hitters were complaining about batting at twilight last night until it got dark. Have perfect light conditions today, a hazy sun, soft light. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Foul again. 1 out, nobody on. Darrell Cheney will be up next. We'll be winding up the World Series. It'll conclude our baseball telecasting this year. Foul. But NBC will be back again next year for the regular Saturday Major League Game of the Week, 15 Monday night games, the All-Star Game, the baseball playoffs, and the World Series of '73. The 2-2 pitch to Cesar Geronimo. Keeps spoiling. Another one. Usually when they keep fouling this many pitches off, batter somehow seems to get a hit. Doesn't always work that way. Let's see how it ends here in this duel between Hunter and Geronimo. And he fouls it again. Look out there in that red dugout. That scattered the boys. That's Concepcion. Hey, I'm your teammate.
Hunter now is starting to change speeds on his pitches a little bit more. That's one of the reasons for all the fouls by Geronimo. He's out in front, and next time he's jammed with a pitch.
2-2 delivery. Foul again.
It's hard to foul that many in this ballpark without one of them being caught somewhere because there's so much room between the foul lines and the stands.
Another foul by Geronimo. See, Gary Nolan just walked out of the Cincinnati clubhouse, down the aisle, is headed for the dugout now. Gary Nolan. He's been working on his arm. The 2-2 delivery. Change up, foul again. He has 8 foul balls in a row now, and he's hit 10 fouls this time at bat. Struck him out. He gave Hunter quite a workout. That's the second strikeout for Hunter. Darrell Cheney was walked intentionally his first time. We're in the top of the 4th inning. The A's are leading the Reds 3-2. Ted Eulander has come out on deck. There's a fly ball, hit the deep center. Hendrick is out there, drawing a beat on it, hauls it in. And the Reds are out in the 4th. The score at the end of 3.5, 3-2 Oakland.
No matter whose steel-belted radio commercial you see, there'll probably be a demonstration of superior handling characteristics. They'll tell you how steel-belted radials make so great a difference you can actually feel it. Feel how they hug the road on sharp turns and at high speeds. So with everybody telling you similar things, which brand you buy? Well, only Uniroyal can tell you this. Worldwide, we've been selling steel-belted radials 10 years longer than any other American tire company.
When your entire business is geared to install mufflers, it means that you can do it faster and more efficiently than someone who does it as a sideline. At Midas, usually we take only 30 minutes to install a muffler. We install mufflers for a living. We have to do a better job. America wakes up with Skin Bracer. Eggs. I needed that. If you need waking up, slap on some Bracer. Its skin tightener and chin chillers can help you come out smoking.
Thanks. I needed that.
Last of the 4th inning, and Sal Bando leads it off for the A's. He'll be followed by George Hendrick and then Gene Tennis. Jim McLaughlin drops the curve in for a strike. Bando flied to deep center his first time. A high chopper foul. Bando's quickly behind 0-2. Another sellout crowd here today. This game is not blacked out in the Bay Area. Ooh, that pitch just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And it's turned into a beautiful day here. The sun out brightly now. 2-2. Hendrick waiting for his turn. His manager in the background, Dick Williams. Three balls, 2 strikes. He's delivered several in the dirt like that. He's trying to get too much spin in his curveball. Three and 2. He's on. Second walk by McLaughlin. He's also hit a batter. George Hendrick beat out an infield roller. And again, Bourbon gets up in the Cincinnati bullpen. The Reds will not be wasting any time today. They're looking for the bunt. A ball, and he had ideas of pushing it down the first baseline with Menke charging right on top of the plate from third. One ball, no strikes. The A's ahead 3-2, last of the fourth. Bando not strolling far off that bag. He's not very fast. Two balls and no strikes. McLaughlin lost Bando after he had 2 strikes on him. And here's Sparky Anderson coming out now because that's 6 balls in a row delivered by McLaughlin. And I believe he wants a new pitcher.
You know, the Reds players were saying the other day, when Sparky comes out, I know he's not coming out to talk with me.
Yep. Doesn't want to go any farther with McLaughlin. He removes him, brings Bourbon on. We have a break in the action at the Oakland Coliseum in the last of the 4th inning. The score, Oakland 3, Cincinnati 2.
A pen is just a tool, like the stuff you learn in school. It depends on what you do with it. Ride on, brothers, ride on, with a 19-cent Wright Brothers pen. You can write your congressman or a poem or a friend with a 19-cent Wright Brothers pen. It keeps on writing great, cause it's made by paper made. Ride on, brothers, ride on, with a 19-cent Wright Brothers pen. Wright Brothers, a new family of pens by Papermate.
You know, you could get a better shave if your razor had a second blade. Why? Well, when you shave, your whisker is actually stretched out from your skin. But after it's cut, it starts to snap back. Now, if you had a second blade right here, you could shave that whisker again before it all snaps back. So with 2 blades, you'd have a better razor. Our razor, the Gillette Track 2. Gillette made it 1 blade better.
This is Brooks Robinson. Baseball, the first major sport to concern itself with the drug problem, is interested in your well-being. When you play ball, you play your best, and you play to win. Our team doctors tell us anyone high on pot, acid, speed, or ACE can't be sure whether the pitch is high or low, straight or a curve, fast or off-speed. If you use this stuff, you're bound to strike out at the ballpark, at home, on the job, or at school. Stay on the winning team with a healthy body and a clear mind.
And the first pitch to George Hendrick was a strike by Bourbon. At first base of Sal Bando, that preceding announcement was made on behalf of Major League Baseball. It's 2-1 now to George Hendrick. There's the bunt. Over the glove, but Perez very alertly backed up Bourbon, who let the ball skip over his mitt. If Perez had not been there, Hendrick would have beaten that one out. Hendrick gets a hand as they wave those banners again. Those banners have become a conversation piece there. Charlie Finley started out with 250. There he is, the quickest two-handed banner man in the West. Yesterday, he ordered 350 more, and today he ordered 2,000 delivered here. They're going to walk Gene Tenace. Mr. Home Run Slugger of this series, who has tied the immortal Ruth and Gehrig, among others, and Duke Snider, with the most home runs hit in the World Series. Dick Green is on deck. They may hit for him. We'll see. Gonzalo Marquez is coming out to bat for Dick Green. Marquez has been sensational pinch hitting. He had a pinch hit single last night. In the playoffs in the World Series, he's had 6 times a bat, has had 4 pinch hits, and 6 times up. And Tommy Hall, a left-hander, getting ready in a hurry in that Cincinnati bullpen. The hand is for Marquez, who made the World Series when Darrell Knowles, ace reliever of the A's, broke his thumb. They put Knowles on the inactive list and activated this fellow. All right, Bandles at second. Gene Tennis is at first, 1 out. And he slams it foul outside of first.
I tell you, Kurt, he comes to camp swinging that bat. He hasn't taken 4 pitches since he came up from Des Moines, Iowa.
He is 26 years old.
He stayed out of baseball altogether last year. His mother was ill down in Venezuela, and he also felt he should have had a major league contract, didn't get it.
1 strike to him. He blips it into left center. It's going to be in for a base hit. Here comes Bandle in to score. Gene Tennis goes to third. He's safe.
In his hands at third base, along with Alex Travis of the Reds, probably than the manager. Now he's getting that 1 runner in. Signaling Tennis, come on over. Now let's see if he's going to give him the hit the dirt sign. There he goes. Hit the dirt, Gene. As Tennis comes barreling in on the dive.
Now, while all that was going on, Marquez left the game to a standing ovation. Alan Lewis replaces him at first base for as a pinch runner. Marquez received a standing ovation as he raced from first base into the A's dugout. And here they've got the suicide squeeze. They've got him hung up, and he's out as Tennis pushes Menke away, and it backfires on the A's. Down to second went the pinch runner, Alan Lewis. Jim Hunter failed to make contact.
Watch the tag by Menke. Tennis, a dead duck, decides to try and bowl him over. Menke holds on to the ball as Cheney comes on to back the play up. Here he breaks, right as the ball is released by Bourbon. He's hung up. Bench, running him back, getting him going to the direction he came from. Menke makes the tag.
A strike to Jim Hunter at 0-2. The A's had a run in to take the lead 4-2. They had runners on first and third with 1 out. And then the suicide squeeze backfired on them. Bourbon's fastball is outside. Well, Gene Tennis tied an all-time World Series record with 4 homers in a series. And Marquez has tied a series record now with 3 pinch hits. Ground ball, foul. Jim Hunter is one of the best hitting pitchers in the major leagues. That's Alan Lewis, the pinch runner at second.
And Kurt, one of the A's best bunters, too. It's unusual to see him miss a pitch like that on a bunt, and he got out in front of it. Bourbon just put too much on it.
2 out. Fly ball hit into left center. Bobby Tolan in front of it. The side's retired. The A's picked up another run. They had 1 hit. There were no errors. They left 1 at the end of 4. The A's 4, the Reds 2.
A Chrysler has always been an automobile with a tradition of performance on the open road. It was an automobile that faced the challenge of Le Mans and saw victory in 56 Grand National competitions. Today, the tradition continues with electronic ignition in this 73 Chrysler Newport, a Chrysler more people can afford. Chrysler Newport. Extra care in engineering. It makes a difference.
Come on, you can do it.
Why is it after every shower your underwear feels 2 sizes too small?
What's the matter, kid? Too fat?
Maybe what you need is Johnson's baby powder. It gets at the moisture your towel leaves behind and helps keep you cool.
Hey, kid. Suppose I tell your girl you're all tied up, okay?
Johnson's baby powder. It gets you drier than just your towel.
That's the A's dugout, and now in the 5th inning, Ted Eulander is going to bat for Bourbon as Ted Kubiak plays second base for the A's. Eulander hitting for Bourbon. We have Tom Hall and Gary Nolan, who we told you had been in the clubhouse, had come out.